Alrighty. Continuing with our no intensity class, our no intensity practice, we are going to do a low intensity, root focused, energizing low intensity movement. So lots of lower body stuff. You might notice that I really like lower body stuff, and that might just be because I've got stronger legs. I'm an old lady. I don't know what it is, but we're taking off our shoes. If you aren't barefoot already, I do recommend to continue with the grounding practice. Maybe go outside, put your feet in the grass. It is springtime right now. It is gorgeous outside right now. So if you would like, I recommend doing that. And you can be either on the mat or off the mat. I haven't really decided where I want to be. Might do a little bit of both. And so we'll just get started with some breathing squats. So with our breathing squats, our feet are wide. And always with squats, we want to make sure that our knees stay behind our toes. Good way to kind of reconnect and just check in is to make sure you can wiggle your toes when you're down into the squat. So the breathing squat, we take our arms up, big inhaling breath, and exhale. Hips come back, knees bend, arms sweep down, and we take them back up on the inhaling breath. Moving slow and controlled with these exercises. Now, if you did decide to do these outside, I encourage you to focus on just the sound of your breath and notice how it blends with the sounds of the birds, the sounds of the wind, or the whooshing cars. Making sure that you're safe when you do these exercises. If you notice your heels are lifting up as your hips come down, just go that far. If your heels lift up, we might compromise our knees. So we want to keep our heels down, grounded through your feet. Feet stay connected in this rooting practice the whole time. Over time, you might notice more trust in your stability, more trust in your foundation. And you might find that the hips will drop a little bit lower with a sense of ease. We won't do 100 today, but feel free to do 100 in your own time. Or as many as 100, I should say. Just one more time with the breath. Exhaling, hands relax down to your sides. Leg swing practice, warm-up exercise next. So feel free to stand with a chair by your side or stand with your hand to the wall, whatever feels most comfortable for your balance. Because you're going to take maybe just one foot down to begin, standing balanced on that leg. And as you exhale, the opposite leg swings forward. The inhaling breath, the leg comes back, but don't focus on the inhale. Focus on just the exhaling breath. The inhale will come in on its own. We'll just go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Switching sides, balancing on the other leg. And the exhale takes it forward. And inhale takes it back. Again, focusing on that exhaling breath, getting a little bit more intense as we warm up through the lower body and challenge our balance. Five, 4, 3, 2, and relax. All right, second leg exercise, warming up exercise. We'll go for a hip hurdler, or also known as a flying clamshell. Looks kind of like a clamshell exercise, and we'll get into that by balancing rather on one foot, keeping the toes forward towards the screen, and we'll turn the opposite foot in. So you're kicking your heel out towards the screen, so the outside edge of your foot is parallel, kind of like half a square. My nephew is all about shapes. That's a square. No, that's a square, and that's a square. Cube is like a square. Anyway, so we turn in for just half of square. Hands can be at your hips. Again, you can have your hand on something to support you if you'd like, or if you need. If you need to, just do it. Don't fight it. You're gonna get a better impact on your exercise if you feel supported. So toes are turned in, heel comes to your backside, and you're gonna lift the knee up so the shin is about parallel to the floor. Drive your knee back and then land heel to heel. Toe turns in, heel comes up, knee lifts high, drive your knee back and land heel to heel. Toe in, heel up, lift up, drive back, heel to heel. In, up, up, back, down. In, up, back, down. A little bit complex. Cool. And we'll switch directions. Staying on the same leg, heel comes to your backside. Drive your heel up, bring your knee forward, toe comes down to toe. Open, heel, up, drive forward, toe to toe. Heel to butt, heel lifts up, knee comes forward, toe comes down. Open and continue. So you can make it static choppy as you get it, but eventually it'll just be a nice hurdle. One more. And relax. Switching sides. So opposite toe turns in, starting at the front, toe to toe to begin. Heel comes to your backside, knee lifts up, drive your knee back, land heel to heel. Toe to toe, heel to butt, woo! Knee lifts up, drive your heel back, and heel to heel. You're gonna feel just a little bit of a burn in the back of the leg and the back of the thigh, maybe even into your glutes. And switching directions. Heel to begin, knee is turned out, heel comes to your backside, drive your heel up, forward and down. Up, up, forward, down. Open, up, forward, down. Repeat with me. Open, up, forward, down. A couple more. Open, up, forward, down. Whew. And take a moment to relax. You might feel that the heart rate is lifting up. We're warming up, that's good. And we're just gonna prepare for a few lower body holding stretches. So not too intense. Still, this is low intensity movement. So taking your legs out nice and wide. Toes are turned out just slightly for a squat. You can have your heels, let's say maybe like 20 degrees. Not a whole lot of expansion there with the toes opening out. So you're gonna take a deep breath in, reach up, and we're gonna sink back into a low squat. Just sinking your hips low, holding this position, turning to the side just for a view. Your knees are behind the toes, and you wanna feel as if you're sinking back into a chair, or like you're trying to use the restroom in a public place, like at the park. Woo. So you just hold for a few moments. And from here, we'll transition into a lunge. So from your squat position, turning your toes out, just one toe, let's start with the right toe, and you're gonna pop the left heel back. So like we did in our hip hurdler, little opening action, turning your toes to the right, left heel back, and you're gonna create a little bit more space by driving the heel back, drawing back on the right hip. Now, if this feels a little bit wobbly, just heel toe your right foot over to the right edge of the mat, creating a wider base of support, wider base. So you're in a lunge position, back heel's high, back leg is long, so and back with that back heel. Squeezing the glute, drawing back on the right hip. And if it feels safe to you in the shoulders, arms can rise up overhead. And you're firmly planted through that front foot. Breathing easy here. In through the nose, slow on the exhale. Notice here if you're holding on to any tension in your shoulders, and see if you can bring the energy up from your legs, from your roots, up through your fingertips. Of course, the hands can be at the heart space. We'll take another deep breath. And then return to center. Feel free to wiggle around with your legs a little bit here. And we're gonna take our legs back, still wide into a squat, so now they're back there. Sinking the hips down, holding for just about 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and this time we turn to the left, toes turn to the left, right heel pops up. Again, create a wider base of support if you need to. Lifting up and back through your back leg, engage your glute, and maybe notice how it stretches through the front of your hip if you hug your lower rib cage in. Stacking shoulders and hips, one right on top of the other. That might change the knee. See if you can keep it back. Arms overhead. And just holding nice and low here. As you move into different positions, different poses, know that your body is going to, wake up a little bit. You might notice that as you continue to hold the pose, things might begin to change. So be easy with yourself. Listen to your body. Find what feels comfortable and safe. We'll take 2 more deep breaths with hands at your heart or overhead, whatever feels good to you. And we come back up, opening back out to your squat position. So shake out the legs a little bit. We're gonna flow a little bit here, just with a nice deep breath in, arms up. Exhaling, hinge forward at the hips. Take a forward fold. Soft bend in the knee. Roll on up. Deep breath in, arms overhead. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Just a little flow there. So, feet come out a little wider now. This time toes turn out to your plie squat, so the toes are turning in opposite directions. In our plie squat, shoulders stack over your hips as you sink your hips down towards the floor. Roll to the outside edges of your feet, bringing your knees in line with your toes. Be careful not to keep your knees in or on the weight or weighted on the inside edge of your foot. Weight's on the outside edge. Pardon the interruption in the hair change. All right, so getting back into it, that plie squat, we're holding low. Weight is on the inside, weight is on the outside edge. Tricked you. Outside edge of the feet with the weight lifting up through the inside edge. And you're gonna take a deep breath in, exhale, and just hold. Reaching out to the sides. Shoulders are relaxed. As you inhale, think about lengthening more out through your fingertips and notice where you feel that. Take another deep breath. And then from here, moving over to the right side, back for a lunge. So you're popping your heel up, right toes come back out towards the right side of the mat. And you want to get low into your lunge. Feeling the baby. If you're curious, almost 21 weeks. Ooh, ooh, it's gonna get just gonna get bigger. So arms are reaching up. Lengthen out here. Now just slight hinge at the hip. Exhale, hands to your heart space, and you're gonna go for a twist. Looking over towards the back of the room, and just drop your elbow down to the outside edge of your knee. We wanna lengthen from the heel up through the hip, up through the crown of the head. And just hold here for maybe 4 to 5 deep breaths. And then inhaling back up to center. Weights on the outside edge of your front foot. And back into your plie squat. Checking in with the feet, making sure we're steady and sinking the hips down. Arms still reaching out to the outside edges, but this time add a little pulse. Little pulses down, keeping your hips low. They might want to rise here. Lift up through the inside edges of your feet, through your arches. Another deep breath. And then inhaling, arms rise. Exhaling over to the other side. So back heel is long. Arms are up overhead. Steady through your foundation. Strong through your front foot, your front leg, and back glute. Long through the back leg. You're feeling the engagement through the quad. Stretch through your hammy. Going in for that twist, we hinge forward at the hips. Hands to your heart center. Find more length out from the heel through the crown of the head. And exhale. Elbow comes to your knee. Stay low through the hips, but strong through the legs. And as you work into this twist, just coming out for a visual cue, stay low. That might happen. You can laugh at me, it's okay. You might want to make a fist with your bottom hand and push into it with the top hand to get more length through the spine. Take another deep breath. And then find your way out of your squat, or out of your twisted lunge. So coming back in, take a deep breath. And exhale, hands to your heart center, feet come in towards each other. And we're gonna stand back up nice and tall, going in for another forward fold. Deep breath, arms overhead. Exhaling, hinging forward at the hips. Breathing deep here. Fingertips can touch your toes, the mat, your shins, whatever you need. Staying connected in this grounding practice. And from here, we'll bring our fingertips and draw the knees down. Take a few cat-cows. Top of the toes push into the floor. Inhale, hips rise, shoulders back. Exhale, round through your spine. Moving with the breath. And we'll come into a neutral spine, getting ready for our dying warrior pose. A bit more for our visual cues or video. All right, so with our toes curled under, we're gonna lift our knees off the mat and pivot around so your knees are towards the screen, taking your back leg towards the screen. And now we land on the hip. Keep your heel forward, nice long leg from heel to hip. And we're gonna take the back leg, or rather the lifted leg, out, turning your toes down, knee down, hip down, in this dying warrior pose. And you notice that this hip, the top hip, is down towards the floor. We're gonna move forward, dragging your back toes, bringing the hip onto hip. And we'll lower down to your forearms, if that feels safe. Moving into this dying warrior pose. sort of a twist. But check in with that back shoulder, that right shoulder. Keep it out of the ear, pull it down, and push the floor away from you. Lengthening with every breath from the toe, back toe, through the crown of your head. And exhaling to twist a bit more through the waistline. If you need some assistance with this pose, send me a video of you doing it and I can adjust verbally. Can meet in person. Take another deep breath here. And we're going to come out of this by coming into a bridge. So you just take your arms up, opening out through the back leg and lowering into your bridge. Feet are close to your heels, fingertips reaching down towards the heels. We might not touch, we might touch. Arms are strong, arms are long, hips rise up. Keep pushing down into your heels. Think about driving the energy towards your shoulders here, heart towards your chin. Every inhale, hips come higher. Every exhale, heart comes closer to your chin. And on the exhaling breath, bring the hips down. To your tabletop position, coming out the same way you went in. And this time we go to the other side. So just for visuals, I'm gonna turn around here, working on the other side. So the knees are lifted, pivoting both knees towards the screen. Back leg extends out, driving your hip down as the heel goes forward, and the back toes come down onto the grass, maybe off of the mat, maybe they're still on the mat for you. Turn your toes down, knee down, hip down, and we drive that hip from the back, slide that back leg forward, stacking hip to hip, and lowering onto your forearms. Push out long through your heel. Every inhaling breath, finding more length from that back toes through the crown of the head. If you find that you're wanting your hip, your side, whatever is wanting to stay high, you can always stay on your hands. You're still going to feel that stretch in the IT band on the outside of the leg. Or you can even lower your head to your hands if that feels safe in your practice, all the while keeping your shoulders out of your ears. And one more time we'll take a bridge. So turning back around, back leg lifts up, front leg comes forward. Inhaling, hips rise. Snuggle the shoulders underneath the chest. Maybe the heart gets a little closer to your chin this time. Taking maybe 3 to 4 more deep breaths here. Notice if you can relax your face, the forehead, the cheekbones, and the jaw. And on the exhaling breath, the hips lower back down to the mat. And at the end of your practice, for a Shavasana pose, staying here as long as you'd like.